I had one. Yes.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, all you artists out there. Everyone, check your clocks. You know what time it is. It's time for art. I'm your host, Hershey Petty, and I'm so excited to be back. I was off on Monday, so it's so great to be back and see all of you guys out there today. What is Time for Art, you may ask? Well, Time for Art is an easy to follow, fun, and engaging art lesson that we teach twice a week right here on our Facebook. And if you don't have time for art twice a week in your busy schedules, you can always catch us. These videos are available the second we finish on our YouTube channel and right here on our Facebook. All you got to do is look for Time for Art subscriptions, and you'll see any of the lessons that we've taught in the past. So twice a week we meet right here, and our resident artist, the incredibly talented Allison Crary, she shows us new painting techniques and her favorite tips and tricks, and we learn how to draw and paint 3 different paintings each month. You get everything you need in a subscription box if you're one of our subscribers to make these 3 paintings. And you're welcome to draw or paint with her as she shows you these new techniques and these fun tips, or you can sit back, relax, and catch one of these later on our YouTube or our Facebook pages, whatever you have time for art. Today is Wednesday. It's a paint day. It's also the last day of the month, our meeting of the month. So I'm very excited because today we're going to be doing an original work, whichever you like to do. So you're going to need all of those really cool goodies that we sent you in your Time for Art subscription box. You're going to need your paints, your palettes, a canvas, brushes. What else you're going to need? You'll need it all. So make sure it's all handy for you right there. You won't need a reference image for this one. So, because this is going to be an original work. And you know what? The only rule here is that you guys have a good time and that you say hey to us in the comment section right there on the side on our Facebook Live. So say hey to the other artists, say hey to us. That's the only way we know you're here. And we'd love to say hi to you guys back. So while you guys are getting all of your goodies out and you're getting yourselves ready to paint, let's say hello to our fearless leader, Allison Crary. Hi, Al.
Hey, Hershey. How are you?
I am good. I'm rested. I'm a little more tan. I'm doing good. Yes.
And you did more drawings. Hershey went to Mexico. Am I right?
Yep, I went to it. Yep, Puerto Vallarta.
And Hershey did some art while he was there. I kid you not.
Yeah, I can't stop. I can't stop. You know,
can't stop, won't stop.
Everybody knows that we get one of these art books with our art journals with every subscription box, and I fill mine up like nobody's business. So I've been just drawing like a fiend. I have
more for the House of Windsor.
Yeah. So I'll show you this. I framed the, if you're part of our subscriber group, which is a separate group on our Facebook, where you could go, and that's where all of our artists post their work. If you go there, you'll see that I drew a picture of the Queen because I'm a huge fan of the House of Windsor. She's been framed. She's up in the living room somewhere, so I can't show you there, but I did also do Princess Di.
Isn't that stunning? And that's a 3/4 like tilt view. That is a major challenge.
I was pretty proud of that. You know, there are some things like I have a tendency to make people's eyes way too big. I don't know what that is. I just do it. This photo, this is a drawing of a photo of Charles, the Prince of Wales. His head in the original photo is not tilted like this. I don't know what I was doing, but he looks very coy, you know. So there's Charles there.
Cutting out the background like you are Charles, and it's really fantastic. I love it.
And then this one is, of course, the heir. We've got this is William, one of my faves. So
yeah, Hattie, yeah.
And I have some more art, but I don't know if I already took it out. Oh, I did this one while I was in Mexico. This is I don't know if you can see it. This is a peacock.
Beautiful.
This was
detailed.
The peacock painted right down the street from where we were staying, and I just every time I passed it, I couldn't help but stare. So
you were just hanging with the peacock?
Yeah, I mean, it is the most beautiful peacock. It was a huge painting on this garage door. And so I snapped a photo and decided I was going to try to paint it or draw it. And what I love about it, you can see the plumes of the feather, like the spine of it, it's like negative space, like if it's just white.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool too.
So cool. So cool. Well, it's original painting night and awesome, Hershey. I mean, and then we're actually are like we talked a little bit last time. We had our sub. We now have our staff is growing. We have Jamie Shapiro as our is she on tonight? She was gonna come on and say hi. We have Jamie as our permanent stand-in and for specials and things like that. We're gonna have Jamie. And actually, I have to be gone a week in September, and Hershey and Jamie are going to do time.
How exciting
that week. So
Jamie, just so I know real quick, because I'm not sure. Jamie's your friend, Jamie, that I know, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. You guys are gonna have a blast. Anyway, and so we were talking a little bit about just repetition and how we do different things. And she suggested that, so we did, well, let's back up. I did the challenge, which was take a template, do it 2 different ways, right? And so I did it realistically, and I did it in a fantasy scape. These were the 2 ways I did it. And I made these deer unicorns and went from there. Also, in case anyone didn't see it, this was our challenge last year. This was my original painting last time. And I did it on cardstock, and I think I'm gonna do this on cardstock again too. I had a couple other ideas, but we're gonna keep with that. So that's how that one went. And then she suggested, she goes, if you're going to maybe like prep for painting, do it 3 different ways and see what you like. And that's exactly what I did. So we have this way with bluegrass, blue trees, orange sky, moon, and it's night. That's important. Then we have orange grass, orange trees, blue sky, orange moon.
Okay.
Last, but certainly not least, and actually the one I'm leaning towards, orange grass.
Yes.
Pink sky, blue trees, orange moon.
I really like that one too. I like when things are not the color that you assume them to be. I love that stuff.
And we're in fantasy. And then, so we were talking then about how, are there unicorn deer? And we weren't sure there were. Turns out there are.
So you imagined a unicorn deer, and turns out that that's a real animal?
It's like a thing. Well, it's not a real animal. It's like a thing in fantasy lore.
Gotcha.
But I made a Pinterest board of
While you look that up real quick, I just want to say hi to Lori and Ruth. They've already said hello in the group. Hi, ladies.
So, for example, here's one in sculpture. It's a deer unicorn. Here's one kind of maybe anime thing, maybe. Here's one you can hang on your wall.
I have seen those, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This one looked really sweet to me. And then I just looked at some other fantasy deer. So this one I thought was really beautiful with the butterflies.
Will you make that one a little bit bigger? I want to see that one too.
Sure. Oh, I'm off screen.
Here we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Isn't that really beautiful? And
Did
then
you think about unicorn deer? Or are they like
I know, and if we want to look them up, we can. And then these are some really pretty fantasy like types of deer. I think they're just kind of it's kind of like the Harry Potter stag.
Yeah.
Maybe. This just has one antler in the middle, kind of like
that looks like a deer unicorn, not a unicorn deer. That one there.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that's more of a unicorn with a deer horn instead of a deer with a unicorn horn. There's the difference.
I could not have yes and yes and yes yet. And then just some other fantasy like this. I just thought was, why wouldn't a deer hang out with a mermaid? Like that's kind of how that
a unicorn deer.
Yeah. Here's a deer meeting a unicorn.
Yep.
like they're friends or not, unknown.
Maybe that's that, like, instead of the stork, like that's the baby story of the unicorn deer. Like that's the meeting. That's how those happened. I don't know.
It's on to something. Okay, so then I went through and I found the original photograph that I took the template from.
Okay.
This is this one. And this is a photo I took. A friend of mine, friends of mine live on this forest preserve property, which is super cool and awesome and amazing. And we went and took a bunch of pictures one day that I was going to use for artistic reference. And so I think we're going to use this. And I think we're going to go with this one today. I think we're going to go with this. What do you think, Hershey, of these?
I love it. I love it.
For our unicorn deer.
I like it.
Okay.
Yep. I think that, the unicorn deer is already a little bit fantastical. So the crazy colors for the background and the front foreground, it's right up our alley.
Right up our alley, right? Okay. So I'm going to kind of move some of these guys just so that there's workspace. And I'm first just going to draw from, come on. Okay. I'm going to draw from this. And I think we're just going to set up, and this kind of foliage in front, I twisted the other way in my sketches. Well, hang on to the one I'm going to work from. Put that up here.
If there's anybody at home who's watching, who's going to do something different from what Alice is doing today, please let us know in the comments. I'd love to share that with her.
Absolutely. Yeah. What are people thinking for original paintings? And if you don't get to your original painting, like we provide an extra canvas so that there is something else to do, right? Like if you want to redo something, if you want to do any, like the point is there's more there. And what we do here, the staff, is we take that for an original painting, and it's kind of themed and it's kind of based on what we've done. But that's not what you have to do. Never feel pressured to do that.
That's right.
Ever. This is for you. So, okay, can everybody kind of see that?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a glare, but that actually looks really good right now.
Yeah, let's leave it that way. All right, so I'm going to kind of put in my horizon line right about here. And what I really want right about here is this bendy kind of fantastical tree. I thought this was too cool. I kind of want that to go.
That's a great tree. That's a great, like, mythical painting tree, you know?
Yeah. And I think it looked so sort of fantasy and where our unicorn deer belonged. So we're going to get this guy in kind of this. Got some puff shoots. Kind of go in this direction. Hershey, what are you thinking for your original painting?
You know, for my original painting, I have, I'm still working on my template challenge, and I'm looking at doing 2 different paintings. One where there's like a zookeeper looking at animals that are in the zoo, and then on the other one, I want to do one where the animals are working the zoo and there's people in the cages.
I love it. I think there's a Twilight Zone.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I happen to absolutely love the Twilight Zone. It's my absolute favorite. The marathons, I really like pre-Netflix. I really loved the marathons, the Twilight Zone marathons.
Did you ever get into Black Mirror?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right, of course.
Yeah, and I'd say that most of the Black Mirrors are amazing, and a few are unprecedented. They're unbelievable.
Right.
Like yeah. Nothing quite like it. So yes, definitely love Black Mirror. But I feel like Black Mirror is more like the threats of technology, and the Twilight Zone's like all of the above, like science fiction, technology. But yeah, definitely the same awesome stuff. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and use my template because it's the right scale. And I'm gonna tuck, so back to here, right? I'm gonna tuck in my deer right in front of this tree. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer these guys for the third time.
And you just free-handed those trees there?
Yep.
Yep.
Just now.
I'm going to post it on our group. You sent me that really cool video of someone using a couple different types of colors of spray paint to emulate a neon sign. And man, that was cool. It was exactly the same techniques we learned here.
Yeah, we love we love neon.
Yep.
Painted, real, all of the above, right? And we even more love painted. Anyone who's painting a neon sign, we're going to stop and take a look at. And it was this really cool street artist technique with spray paint on how to paint a neon sign. And too cool, right? Was it
It really was. It looks so easy.
Yeah, was it the Pink Panther?
Yep.
It was really cool. And so
that last little bit, that white line in the middle,
that's the
technique. That's what popped.
Mm-hmm. And so Hershey and I sometimes send things like that to each other, and even when he's on vacation and off. All right, so I know I want to get the moon in there, and I think the moon is probably going to be most interesting. I don't want it dead in the middle. So what's the middle? So if that's the middle, we definitely don't want it there. Do we want it like here maybe?
Is it just a crescent moon?
Yep, it's a crescent moon. I think it kind of goes with our curves.
Yeah.
Like right here maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, above the deer.
Above the deer. So we can move our kind of trees around there. So let's actually make it a little less hairy. There's our crescent moon.
And you're using a little bit of a smaller canvas than our artists are used to. Is that right?
I actually was going to. That was the first plan. And the new plan is I'm just going to do it right on cardstock because we're drawing. I did that last time with
right. And is the cardstock this a similar size to our canvas?
It's a 8.5 by 11. So okay. Yes, it's a little
bit bigger. Okay, gotcha.
But since I'm drawing on the I'm gonna go ahead and just do it on paper this time. And then I wanted these front leaves to face the other direction. Did I do that right? I think so.
I like this off-centeredness of the deer and the moon because it allows us to get really kind of cool with the environment on the right-hand side.
Yeah. And that's kind of the idea is we're interested sort of in this kind of mysterious forest. And so kind of back to this, these fun branches in the foreground, I want to make even larger. I want it to be like, and so I flipped my canvas around and I'm going to draw these, by canvas, I mean sheet of paper.
Clever, clever.
And I'm going to draw these coming in like this. And we'll turn it back around. But I thought this, and then this, and then this, and then our crescent moon. I think that's kind of interesting flow to take us through the forest.
Mhm.
And-
Okay.
I was just saying, and then I'm not going to overthink it too much. We're going to kind of paint. It's gonna, we're gonna
We'll see what
yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I've been experimenting with like different types of mediums. So like I was doing I think I was telling you guys last week that I was doing a neon sign of Tucson thing. Well, so here's one that I have. This is a famous one in Tucson. It's a saguaro cactus and I found these like glitter, you like they're pick and steel or pick and or stick and peel, sorry, stick and peel, like little like rhinestones. And so I use them as the lights on the side. I don't know if you could see that. I use them to go kind of up and down. I can't get it.
Kind of losing you. Can you put it
know.
right in front of your chest? There you go. Nice.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'm using an old palette just because I'm working on our new kit, our new projects. And so I'm kind of
I don't think any of us have a new palette every time like you do.
yeah. So that's that. So I'm just gonna get the background tone.
I do the worst thing. I use paper plates because I am just
that works for you.
Yeah, because because I don't like cleaning my palettes.
Yeah. I stick with the wells for a variety of reasons, but most of all because you save paint.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So I try and wash my palettes and all the same. All right. So we're going to go ahead and paint here. And I'm just making sure at this point. Oh, and the colors I'm using cobalt blue. I'm using phthalo blue. I'm using orange and I'm using burnt sienna. And then I am pulling from a previous kit, scarlet.
Okie dokie.
So everybody knows.
Is scarlet your favorite red? Because we also get rose madder. Which one do you think is a more true red there?
I would say neither. I'd say both are pretty rosy.
Yeah.
And I'd say if you mix vermilion with one of those, you're going to get the closest thing to an apple red.
Copy that. Thank you very much for that tip. Lori wrote in, she said that she's painting the bunnies in grass and she goes, who knows how it'll turn out, but I know, Lori, it's going to turn out really great.
Fantastic. Yeah. The bunnies in grass. Okay. That's they look, yeah. They're not the really fluffy ones. They're the more like hair looking ones, maybe.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal here is I'm going to get in this kind of peachy pink background tone.
I like it already.
And we can paint on that.
Oh, Lori said she's definitely going to make them fluffy.
Oh, okay. I like that too. Because there's two sets of bunnies, right?
Were there? I mean, I had it out earlier.
I think there's two sets of bunnies.
I think maybe I thought I saw it. I was like, oh, I already went through these.
Yeah.
Two sets.
Yes, Pat. And then the takeaway here for this kind of grass, this kind of foliage that's on the ground, because it's not really grassy, is it's kind of lighter on top and darkest actually in the front.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and capture that. So I'm going to use some more of my orange. I'm going to mix a little of this kind of peachy pink in there, but also some white.
I like when you say peachy pink.
Peachy pink.
Mm-hmm.
Technical term.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like it when you use kind of a really vibrant color and then mix it with a really earthy color. So I'm excited to mix in some burnt sienna. And with that. And I'm going right over everything because I can see through it. So I'm not worried about, I've also gotten very fond of painting on cardstock.
Yeah, can we talk a little bit about your cardstock?
Yeah, this is cardstock that's for a printer.
Okay.
Is what it is.
And did you get it so you could make something else and you just found that it's perfect for your...
Well, I like cardstock sometimes to print on. I think it's actually what our references are printed on. I don't
Okay.
know the references, but if I had to guess, I believe that's what it's on. And I've been painting on it more and more, and I really like it. So food for
Yeah,
thought
it's difficult if you're not transferring something. It's difficult to draw directly on the
on
canvas.
the canvas, which is why I switched from, I had a different plan. And now this is what I'm going to do my original painting on. That's the other thing. Paint on whatever you want.
Yeah,
We never care.
right. As long as you're creating something.
Exactly. Like, yeah, there's when we say there are no rules, I would say the only rule is don't let something like, materials hold you up. We try and give you as much as we possibly can. And
Mhm.
it's going to either work,
Yep.
experiment, try different things.
A friend of mine years ago made me these alien face coasters.
Cool.
And she made them. I can't remember how she made them, but anyways, they were terrible coasters because they didn't absorb any liquid whatsoever. So every time you lifted up your drink, it was stuck to it, and then they'd fall. And so,
Miserable coasters, cool paintings.
What's that?
Well, art.
Yep. Well, so last night I framed them, each individual, and then I took the because there wasn't a lot of room in the frame because they're thicker, right? So it's hard to like kind of get them in there behind the glass and then close the frame up. So I took some stuff out. What I did was I painted in a background. I painted the background for them directly on that thing, that piece of the frame that goes in the back that has that the flapper thing that sticks up. I painted right on directly on that because there are no rules.
My trick like that.
Hmm.
Not quite like that. So if you're at a thrift store or someone's getting rid of like a really big framed piece of art that's like I don't know, something you might not want, like those French like champagne posters were really popular for a while and stuff like that. I go right on the glass and paint.
That's right. You do that. That is a really
You can try and take that apart, but then you might also get like a guillotine.
Yep. Do you find that because the glass, of course, doesn't absorb anything?
The glass, you gesso it first.
You gesso it. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so you prime it and then you paint. And it's a little weird, but yeah. All right, so there we go. That's kind of the colors we're working with there.
All right.
We're gonna kind of let that dry. And next, I'm gonna go to our deer. And I'm gonna paint in our deer, but I'm actually gonna follow the reference on this. And the way we did this before, we had, where are my paints on this one? Too much out. We have a cobalt, here we go. We had a cobalt and we had a phthalo blue.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if there's a way to do one painting where it looks like where you're unclear if who the zookeeper is.
I love it.
I'm thinking.
All right, so I'm gonna get these in here, but I'm actually going to, where I was just kind of experimenting before, I'm actually gonna look at some references and kind of get these guys looking a little bit more like what they're supposed to look like. And so, yeah, so it was a template challenge where we said do it 2 different ways. And I didn't know how I was going to do it the other way. So I had it like realistic and then I had it fantasy, but came up with it right on the spot, right?
Yeah.
And then brought me
These are
here.
definitely hares. You're right. These are hares.
Is a hare a rabbit? Like, are they rabbits? Are they?
I mean, I've seen them before and they're just way bigger and not as cute. These guys, these are the ones that Lori's doing here.
The fluffy ones?
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm filling these guys in. And Hershey brought up a good point before. It is difficult to compose on canvas, so just always pull it, like, even if you're sketching it, always pull out your graphite paper
Yeah.
and then just transfer it. Because life's short, don't struggle with that. Is my takeaway there. All right, so I'm just kind of filling these guys in. Hershey, you want to see if there's any lore on unicorn, like crossbred unicorns? Like,
Are we connected or what? I'm Googling it right now.
how
Yes.
cool. Like if you're a unicorn, but not your like run-of-the-mill unicorn.
When you start typing in unicorn deer, the Google self-populates it with unicorn deer in Georgia. So we're going to go right there.
Oh, I'm definitely interested in unicorn deer in Georgia.
Ooh. The real life unicorn. Oh, wait, this is actually just a unicorn. Oh, this is a deer. You know what? It's a unicorn. It's a deer that has had a very rare deformity. Is what
there is one of these in actuality.
I mean, they found the skull and they think that it's the horns have fused somehow.
Well, is this a little bit sad?
Let's see. Well, they only found the skull, so I guess it was sad. It's called a cervicorn.
Okay.
This Massachusetts white-tailed deer proves that unicorns really do exist, but he probably wasn't born like this. The cervicorn once belonged to blah, 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 blah. Oh, they have unicorn deer skulls at Ripley's Oddities, believe it or not.
Well, there you go.
You know what? Yeah, they've only found skulls of them and they think that it's a genetic mutation.
Man. Okay.
Not so fun.
Not so fun. Well,
I'm going to keep looking until I find something I like.
In like fantasy. Is there anything on the unicorn deer that exists?
Unicorn deer spotted in Georgia.
Oh, we keep finding a real thing. I'm talking like, is there like fantasy con level?
Like what? Yeah, like what is the meaning?
I'm like, yeah, I want to know like jackalope, like
So the unicorn deer, according to Space Battles, the sci-fi database, says that it's a horse-like creature.
not a deer-like creature. So ours is a little different.
Let's see. Yeah, they're not winged like some unicorns are.
Ours certainly aren't.
I feel like it should have some sort of powers.
Well, ours can. Well, maybe they're talking more about the deer we saw that was more horse-like, right? That had
Yep, that's what they're looking at for sure.
That had just like the one antler in the middle. I like it. All right, so I am putting in this first tree right here. And I've decided my trees are going to be the phthalo blue. this.
Oh, the unicorn deer that they have, which is actually a real deer. It's in the Tuscan town of Prato in Italy, near Florence. And he was actually born with a twin who has the two regular horns. So, and he's got the one horn. So that's why they think it's probably just a genetic mutation. But that's kind of cool.
Speaking of Black Mirror, there's a very cool Black Mirror kind of on a Ripley's Believe It or Not sort of type place. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I've seen, I thought I saw most of them, or maybe not all of them, but some of them are like, they just really get me.
Ooh, this one will. This one does not disappoint in that space. It's not Ripley's. I'm trying to think of what it's called, but it's like a side of the road Ripley's Believe It or Not type. All right, so that's the first tree. I'm going to put in some of these others. That I kind of threw in. Back. Just like this. And then I think the leaves will be the cobalt blue, is my thinking so far.
So I wonder, Lori, with your deer, oh, Michelle Poor is here. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello. I'm wondering if, Lori, are you doing the deer in like a fantasy situation as well, or are you doing them in like a more realistic?
Bunnies, right?
Bunny, sorry, bunny. That's right.
Bunnies, yes. And that wasn't the challenge. It's just when we started with do 2, I took mine to a fantasy space. And that's sometimes kind of what the challenges are for, is you try something a little bit different. Like,
heck yeah.
If I was going to do it 2 different ways, it could have been stylistically different ways. It could have been anything.
Right.
All right. So there kind of is my forest. Through the trees, if you will.
So funny.
Oh, I got good jokes today, right? And then I think we're going to do some leaves. And I want the leaves to be in this. And I think I just want my leaves to be really subtle. Like, sometimes I overthink things like leaves.
Yeah.
Just like,
I can see that. I can see myself doing that for sure.
yeah, like how important is the negative space? How important is the, I'm going to try and not do that this time. Let's see how I fare.
Okay. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, right? It's So I'm just gonna kind of put some of this in here, there, and everywhere. But I feel like this is a stylized painting, could be really beautiful in like a, I don't know, like in home decor, like maybe a kid's room
Yeah.
or a rec room or
Well, especially if you've got like an interesting color palette and you can't find anything maybe that just quite matches it. Like that, you could, to your heart's content on this one.
okay. Coming around this way. We know we want to kind of leave like our total crescent moon doesn't have to really show, but we know we want it to a certain extent.
Mhm. I figured out what I'm going to do. I'm drawing this man who's got his back to the animals.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you're not sure. You're like, hey, is he watching them?
All right, so I'm gonna kind of leave that alone for now.
And Lori wrote in. She said that she's going semi-realistic.
I like it.
Me too.
Well, I really thought I was gonna end up liking my realistic one more when I did the challenge on
Mhm.
Monday, and I didn't.
No, huh?
Wasn't it? All right, so here are my leaves. And then go ahead with just the orange and white, do my moon and stars.
I'm using as a reference image. Did you guys ever see that one? It was I think it's Judd Hirsch, like Into the Wild or something, where he plays that guy that based on a true story, where the guy like leaves his whole life and just gives it up and goes and lives in the wild, and they find him dead like years later.
Sounds like a heartwarming story.
It really was. This is really interesting.
Judd Hirsch dies in the wild.
Yeah, Judd, he died. I think there's might be two of those too. He had a time there where that was his MO. He got typecast.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's gonna need to get lighter, but we got it in for now. So here are our stars.
Oh.
And our pink sky. I'm gonna go ahead and just add some white to this. And I think what I just kind of want to show everybody is kind of how I compose my paintings.
It's really, I think it's really great to know, like one of the things that I learned about watching you paint and learning from your kind of, the way you, like you said, compose them, is that how they do kind of look messy at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and just putting a layer down of paint that is going to be, that it's going to be fine. Just leave it there, put it in that way, you know, yep.
Just start making marks. And you tighten things up as you go.
That's right.
And even if that's like, that kind of gives you anxiety, you can maybe more carefully lay down a first layer, but a mistake is to overdo it because then you get the well-drawn mistakes.
Yeah.
And then you get that's a beautiful nose that is up too high and you have to move it.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, you just want to get started.
Gonna get it.
Because you want to start getting, you want to put something down so you can start checking it and making some sense of it. So I'm coming through here. Just like this. A little more opacity. To
Did you just choose these colors on your own? Did you, or that's, oh, this is all just in your head?
well, when we did, when we did this, I was trying to use only colors we sent this month.
Right.
And then the pink makes it a little bit different. And this is what I came up with.
And the pink and the orange in yours, in the one you're doing right now, like they could even really blend to each other.
Oh yeah.
It's cool.
And then I added, you know, and that's everybody's, I think, got some leftover paint. So. All right. Next, I think I'm going to kind of hit some of these darks in the foreground. Look at how dark this is in the front. And I think it really anchors it.
Yeah. And it's going to make what's on top, floating on top of it, like those leaves really pop because it's dark underneath them.
Yeah.
Lights and shadows.
All the fun stuff, right?
All the fun stuff.
You figure that out. What can't you do?
Amen.
All right. So. So I'm going to just kind of do that. Now I'm going to go back to the deer. I'm just going to get these guys in a little more than they are right now.
A little more detailed.
A little more detailed. I kind of sharpen my brush. In case you've never seen me do it.
Yep, let's do it.
It's like, is there funny lighting?
Their lighting was a little bit better a minute ago, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
You could see the white accents that you added to some of the tree leaves in the back. That it was really popping, and I liked that.
Yeah, it's not looking very vibrant to me. Interesting. Well, I'll figure it out later. All right. So.
And Ruth had commented, she wrote in and said that she could already see a lot of depth through the trees, and she's definitely enjoying that.
Excellent, 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 excellent. All right, so I am going to just kind of put in some of these lighter tones in my deer. I thought last time that the deer had white tails. They actually have darker tails. So that one's kind of wrong. This. Down like this. Just a little bit of light tone over here. Over here. And then a little bit darker tone in here. Down
I think
here.
I am going to go through my spring box.
Oh yeah,
Some of those other animal templates that we did, because
we have animals in the spring too.
I'm curious because like my initial instinct is to use the gorilla to be the zookeeper, but I'm like, I don't know, it's a little too on the nose.
It's been done.
It's been done.
Doesn't mean it can't be done better.
Right. Well, and I've never done it, so
Yeah,
it'll be the best I've ever done.
Everything's been done.
Yeah, right. Ruth is somebody who I think almost always watches the process.
Yes.
And then goes back and does whatever she can. So I'd be interested, Ruth. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Definitely an observer.
For this part, for sure. She likes to watch how you do it all, because the truth is, and everyone knows this, if you blink, you'll miss it.
You can always rewatch it.
Yeah.
We got it there for you.
Yeah, it was more vibrant earlier. What is going on?
Yeah, what's going on? That's not it.
Not it.
Hmm. All right. Do the same thing for this guy. Darker in here. Over here. Around like this. Another reminder, our kits went out this week. Our
Ooh.
subscribers.
Is it August already?
It's going to be.
Man, oh man, oh man.
And so be on the lookout for those.
Did we already, what's the theme?
We announced it. We went ahead and said it.
Okay, what is it?
It is late summer
Late summer?
is the theme, which we say is the kind of FOMO. You get it all in.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in Tucson and it's always summer,
It is here. It's
not
true.
sure that's
Yeah, right. It is always summertime here. I gotta admit that. I love it. Late summer to me kind of says like I don't know why, but it says also late in the day, like warm nights.
yes, like pink skies, kind of.
Uh-huh. Pink skies, exactly. Oh, that's gonna be fun. You talk about home decor. That's gonna be some stuff you could really put up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm gonna mix a little of this phthalo blue in with my cobalt blue for the shadows. Just like that. We're almost at the 8 o'clock mark. So I think the last thing I'm gonna do after I kind of get this in, and I'll keep working on this and I'll show it to you guys as I go. We don't always finish our original paintings because we're being original. Takes a little more time. So I'll definitely post it to the group.
I'm gonna post all my art to the group as well.
And correction, I'm actually going to send it to Hershey to post to the group because we're figuring out, like, managers' rights and things like however that is supposed to go.
Yeah, you don't always get to be yourself when you're on our.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I made that a little more prominent. But I'm going to put in this kind of piece in front.
And those trees do look very mystical.
Right? It looks like a fantasy forest.
It really does.
And then I'm going to let it dry and do all the refining and everything else. But just to kind of ground our colors.
Mm.
This. So I have this foliage in front. I feel like we got our color back, kind of, sort of.
I think so too. Yeah, you're right. We certainly did.
I don't understand it.
Oh, Lori, she says, she goes, she can't tell if she's making it better if she's doing too much. What do you like? What do you do when you've been there?
Oh, I mean, I'm only there all the time. Let it dry.
Let it dry. Let it dry.
Let it dry. Come back to it. Maybe look at it upside down.
Yeah. If you've got anything else you want to share with us that you're feeling about your painting, let us know, Lori. I'll share it with Allison. But I'd say it's hard to sometimes when you've taken the time for art and you're all set up to really give yourself that patience to say, you know what, I'm just going to let it dry. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look whatever for a minute.
Not
Yep.
Just for a little while. And Jamie and I were kind of talking about how not only do we encourage watching paint dry, you kind of need to, because it dries a little differently than when you put it down. So
especially on canvas.
Yeah. So watch some paint dry, like it's not so bad.
What a lesson.
Yeah. Every time I watch paint dry,
Yeah.
I feel like people who say that haven't done it. They don't know how.
They have definitely never.
The people that are like, it's like watching paint dry haven't had.
Or they didn't lay that paint, because if they laid that paint, they would be watching it dry.
Keeping an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting in just some of this. We're at 801, but I'm just going to kind of show you. I'm kind of taking this through here. It's a little lighter. As we go. And that's the foundation for
and that background really goes from dark to light to lighter, and usually it's the opposite, right? You get the lighter in the front.
Yeah, it's different, and usually don't think of the night as light out.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. And right, I'm gonna hold this up because I think we've got some glare going on. But this
beautiful, Al.
The beginnings of my original painting.
Yeah, everyone take a good look at this, because when you see it next, you'll be like, whoa, what?
Yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Same. I'll show you what I have so far. I've got, let's see if I pulled it up. Let's see it here. I've got, can you see that? Are the lines dark enough? Wait, no, let me back up.
I can barely see it. You're gonna have to snap a picture of it for the group.
There's a guy here, and and there's that elephant here. The elephant looks like he's maybe gonna try to he's like, it's gonna say like, don't feed the humans or something.
I love it.
Yeah.
I also suggest, I believe it's a Twilight Zone, maybe watch it. I think it's all on Netflix.
All right. I like that too. Nice.
The
Twilight Zone.
Little Twilight Zone. It's always a good idea. It's always a good time for the Twilight Zone. All right. Next week, new kit. And then your September box is going to be kind of overhauled. And it's going to be a weird month because I won't be there for one of the weeks. But
August is right, or September?
September. August is we got exactly what we usually do. September is going to be a weird month, but it's going to be like the new month with all the new marketing and all the new cool stuff. So
how exciting.
We're so excited about it. And thank you to all of our subscribers. We have so much fun with you. We love doing this.
I want to say too, before we say goodbye to everybody, I know it's already the hour, but thank you so much for updating these boxes and whatnot, because as we're all growing as artists and whatnot, to know that these boxes are changing is so exciting for me personally as my artistic journey as we go on. So I just want to say thank you so much for that as well.
You are so welcome. And we get to change it because everybody's doing such good work, and we're figuring out what's best and what works and what doesn't and all those things. And I think everyone's gonna be excited about the next batch. It's definitely next level. So
very cool.
All right.
Have a good week.
Everybody, see you next Monday. Bye, guys.